Okay, started to record. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. So today we are going to recap the last few sessions, and then we will have a review quiz. So yeah, I hope you're fully awake and have your morning tea already. Yeah. Cool. So this is one of our first classes that we created, and I just wanted to introduce some more parameters that are available in Java when you're creating a class. So let's say the class is called some class, and it can be public or private or other visibility criteria. Final would mean that you don't want this class to be inherited anymore. Abstract would mean that this class is actually abstract class, which is a concept in object-oriented programming, which means you cannot really instantiate a class object of this class, but you have to subclass it and you have to add some more functionality, which is defined, which is declared in some class, but need to be defined in your another class. And the class keyword still there. And you can either extend another class or you could even implement another interface. These are the two main ways you can start a class in a Java file of its own name. Then if you want this class to be run executable, which means you want it to be runnable from command line or some other mechanism to invoke the Java JVM, then you need to provide a main method to it. And how is the main method declared? It is fixed. You have a public static void main. This is the qualifiers of the main method in function for this class, and it has one array argument of string type args. Yeah, this is the standard way you can enter a Java program, and whatever is written here will be the first few lines that will be executed uh, in this case. Fine. So as part of our yeah, so we did this program in our one of the first sessions. Yeah, so we are reviewing our first session, our last few sessions, and then we'll have a review quiz. So first line is how we declare a class, and there are a couple of ways, couple of more modifiers available when we declare a class, and then you have the main entry point, which is the main function. If you want to declare a variable, you have to declare the type in Java. Um, then you have to give it a name, which has some rules, and you can give it a value. So I declare two variables here, int math equal to 5, int c equal to 300. Then if you want to display something on the console on where the Java program is running, then you need to use the system.out uh, handle, which basically routes everything to the console of the current process. And println is the function to print and end with the new line. So I'm just printing the mass. Then I'm doing some calculation. So again, I have to declare the variable called energy, which will then be assigned with the value as part of this computation, this expression. And I can use print it out, and I can use print at this time, which signals that it's basically it's like a formatted print, and you can do the formatting inside the double quotes of the string. Percentage d means that it's expecting a number to be available for the print. Yeah, and this is how you end a method by matching the brace. And again, by matching the last brace, you end the class. This is our basic review of a Java class. If anybody has any questions, yeah, let me know. Okay. Um, then we talked about another concept. We talked about function overloading. So we could have a method called print something, um, which is of type void. And I'm just talking about function overloading now. I'm going to make notes here. Function overloading. I could say print something, and then I can do system.out.print ln something. Yeah, and you could also have another version which takes in a string argument, let's say string anything, and we could use this guy to print anything that is passed. So although both the functions have the same name and the same return type, the parameter set is different. So here we are giving it a parameter set which is some string anything, and in this case there are no parameters. So this is called function overloading, and this is very commonly used. This helps you express your Java programs better in some scenarios uh, where the function is supposed to do something similar, but you want to keep it safe, which means you only pass the information to it which is relevant. So that's why we create function overloading to make our programs safer and easier to read. The purpose is the same, but the conditions are different. So there is I guess two ways to implement it. You could pass a flag which says print something or print that thing. You could pass a flag or like a boolean or something, or you can overload it and it makes it very much obvious that I'm going to do this thing and I'm going to do this with one of the parameters like that. Okay. Then we talked about while loop. So the way the while loop works is there's a while, and then when while condition is true, it will do something like I plus plus. Increment something if I is equal to 10, you know, system dot dot ln I reach 10, something like that. And then you end the loop. So this is one way where you can create a while loop, and the condition could be while I is less than 11. So this loop does what? It basically counts I. Let's say I was starting at 0, and it will count 10, and then you print it out. So it will print out I reached 10 miles. So this is one of the loops we studied uh, earlier. Okay, then we go move on to for loop. So what is the? I think I'll try to do the same program in the for loop now. And I equal to 0, I is less than 11, I plus system, and then I'll use the same if condition. I'll just copy this over. So in the for loop, you can declare the counter variable within the for loop so that the scope is limited, and you can increment it also within the for loop declaration and the condition. So you give it three things. What is the counter or any other variable that you're going to use in the for loop? What is the condition true, which as long as true, the for loop will continue to run, and what is the increment. So at the end of the loop, what do I want to do? I want to increment the counter, and I just copy the same thing. When I use 10, I will say I printed 10 miles. This is what we did as well, loops. Then we talked about integer dot parseInt method and long dot parse long methods. So this is what I say, passing string input into numeric values, variables rather. This is something we addressed as well when we were doing our initial few classes. We talked about recursion, and recursion basically is a program that calls itself has a terminal condition. Why? Because it's much easier. It relates to it relates well to some problems that are expressed as let's say series like Fibonacci, arithmetic, or geometric series, etc. Okay. So we talked about recursion as well. We talked about loops and so on. And we talked about JCL also. So I think JCL is quite an important improvement in Java, and it helps especially people who are not from a background of programming to play around with their ideas, experiment with ideas easily without having to create a formal class like this. So yeah, just keep your JCL handy. If you're ever in doubt why your class is not compiling, maybe you can copy some lines into JCL to see if that works or not. I talked about classes and interfaces, but I think I will talk about it again when we start the class uh, in the next class, which will hold in January, because next two classes we will skip for Christmas holidays, and so we'll resume in January. This is something to be discussed again. Okay, so yeah, that was the easy part. All right. So now we will move on to quiz. I'm going to paste some questions here. Okay, and I would like you guys to spend some minutes on it, and then when you're ready, we will discuss the answer. Okay. For this. By the way, in the meantime, does anybody have any question? Because we're going to start a quiz, maybe good time to ask any question, clear any doubts.
No, no. Good. We are good.
All right, I'm going to paste a question on the Excel sheet from one of the one references I have. Can you read it easily?
Maybe can you increase the font? I mean, can you expand? Yes. Yes.
So this is the first question. Let me anybody who has a doubt about this, let me know. Yeah, I will after 1 minute I will ask for answers from everyone. So yeah, just let me know when you're ready with the answer. All right. Can I have the answers now? And everybody can please speak up your answer. Which choice? Is it A, B, C, D, E, F? Which is the legal entry point method that can be run from command line?
E1. Public static void main. Streamlabs.
Okay. Any other answer? Do you have any other answer?
Yeah.
We can have E, then D.
Team.
D, is it? Oh, I haven't never tried this. Let's quickly try it out. What do you say?
Okay. Can it not be C? I mean, like, should it be always static?
Final. No, it has to be static. Yeah, that's for sure.
Always it has to be static. Okay.
Yeah. Let me try the final keyword. I think it should work, but I have never tried it. Right. So
Even
I
it can
think
be a private class or not.
um no, this is
Yeah.
not a class actually, it's a method,
Yeah.
and this is something that Java JVM needs to assume when it's calling your program. So JVM is going to assume that there is one method available which is public static
Okay.
returns void name main accepts string arguments.
Hmm.
So this is some assumption. Every language does have some assumption. So this is one of the assumptions that Java JVM have. And great answer from Mahalakshmi. Mahalakshmi, is you right? Who give the answer? D and E.
Thank you.
So D and E. These are the two correct
Manu, can
answers.
you just, I mean, why we like, what is the use of static, public, static? Public, I understand, but why static?
Okay, sure. Fine. So static means it's not tied to any instance of the class, right? So you have a class and you have the instance of it called object. So class is like the blueprint. Object is actual instance of that class, and it has some memory allocated to the values inside that object. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Static is tied to the class, means it is not tied to any object. So static is something that will have memory or will be declared as a function, and it is not dependent on instance of the class. So this makes Java's job easier, that it will start the program without caring about creating an instance, because creating instance can have so many steps. So the JVM will become super busy. It might run into different errors because of assumptions and so on. So JVM, when it starts the Java program, it will not going to construct anything. It will just going to load the class from your Java class file or the jar file, and then it will look for the main method in the class that you declare to be your main class, and it will just call it immediately. And whatever is done will be done by the program. It's program's responsibility. JVM's responsibility is to start the program with minimum knowledge about the program.
Okay.
So, okay, good discussion. Right. So I'll ask. Right, I'll ask another question now. Sorry, my reference material is not that scanned that well. So please pardon me again for that. So I have another question pasted. Which of the following are true? Choose all that apply. Public class bunny, public static void main, bunny one equal to new bunny, and end of the program.
A.
So yeah, I think will give you guys 1 minute to decide, and then we will start sharing answer together. Yeah,
Sure.
because there are multiple answers possible, so that's why need a little bit more care.
Okay.
All right, let's share the answers now. How many answers are actually true? First of all,
A, E, and G, I think.
A, E, and G.
A and E.
F and G. Bun is okay. Okay. Sorry.
Okay,
A, E, and
so why G is incorrect? Because the name of the parameter does not matter.
Yeah.
It's a convention we use ARGS,
Hmm.
but the name is really immaterial. So G is incorrect.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I heard A, E, and somebody said F also, is it?
Yes. Yes.
No. Main is not a reference to an object. Main is a method.
Okay.
So the reference of what is the reference of an object in this program? Can you tell me?
Bun. Bun
Bun.
is reference.
Yes, correct. Bun is the reference to the object. So new bunny constructs the object, and bunny bun equal to that object basically assigns the reference of the new object, the memory location to the variable called bun. Yeah.
Manu,
So
can you say again why not G?
okay, because main okay, so in any Java method, any Java function like main, the name of the parameter doesn't matter. The type of the parameter matters. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. So
Okay.
parameter
Okay.
name does not matter at all.
Parameter. No, but like the type is wrong, right? The bunny is not a type, right?
Number G
Isn't
you're
it?
talking about.
No, I mean like here, bun equals to new bunny of. So isn't
Uh,
it supposed to be integer or string or something like when you define a
oh,
variable?
um, did we cover this already? So whenever you say string, let's say, this is, let me type it out. String name equal to, it's in my, yeah. What is
Hmm.
this? What are the parts of this? So first part is type string.
Right, right.
Yeah. Then we have the name of the variable.
Hmm.
Then we have the assigned value,
Right.
right? So this can work for integer, which is called primitive data type, and it can work for objects, which are non-primitive, correct? So
Okay.
string has a special uh, shortcut, which is basically this,
Mm-hmm.
right? But for any other object, we have to we can declare a bun like this, and we use the new keyword. So the new keyword here is the interesting bit. This tells you that I'm going to create a new object of class bunny, and with whatever information it needs, and then assign it back to bun. This is how you instantiate an object.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I think yeah, I might have not discussed this explicitly before. Yeah, sorry, my apologies. Okay.
So can this be like should it be same like let's say that since you're instantiating bunny, you can use should bunny equals to new bunny or it can be something else like some random. Let's say
No, cannot. So Java has type safety, which means the type of the right hand side has to match the type of the variable declared.
okay, okay.
It can be bunny's kid. There could be a subclass. Maybe I don't know if there is a certain species of rabbits, and let's call it brown bunny, let's say, which inherits from bunny. Then you can say bun equal to new brown bunny, assuming that assuming brown bunny inherits or extends. Yeah, so you can do
Extends
that.
from random.
Yeah,
Okay. Like another class
then
which we import or like which we input or something.
inherit or extend. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Okay. I guess yeah, I think I should go back to the classes session soon. Huh? Okay. I think there's a couple of other things which we have not explicitly discussed, but I'll paste the question anyhow, and let's see how you do. Okay, another question. Oh, sorry, I did not. Okay, copy capability somehow. What's going on? I tested another one. Which of the following is correct? Again, a little bit. I think there's some food for thought involved here. Yeah. I guess you can ignore the first two options and let's focus on the uh, yeah, ignore the first two options. And then if you think you can answer, let me know. If you think it's yeah, I haven't covered the topics, then you can ignore just let me know and then we'll ignore the question. Yeah. Right. So yeah, please share your answers, then we'll quickly discuss them.
Option E.
Um, any comment on option C and D? What do you think happens to those two?
I'm not sure about the C, but double default is C.
I think DNF.
Right. Okay. I think I need to yeah, I need to maybe go one by one. Yeah. So A, B, C, D. So what is A? Option A is instance variable. Upload defaults to 0. This is correct. Why? I'll try to explain in a bit. Instance variable type defaults to null. In fact, let's do it. What do you say? Huh? Shall we practice all of it? Okay, let's jump to VI. I'm going to share my screen. I guess I can paste this on chat, but the chat doesn't accept integers. So, right. So, guys, let's try to implement a small class. I'm going to share my screen on the program side, and then we will create a few other things. Okay, vi question 9.java. I'll call it question 9.java, and we'll say publish you class question 9. Okay, first of all, instance variable means what? Float. It has float my instance variable 1. Yeah. Then we have char instance variable. Actually, I can just put it char and one float. Yeah. So I'll encourage everybody to try it out on their own terminal as well. So we're going to list down 6 type of variables, and I'll basically show you how. So this is A, B. Then let's talk about local variable. So local variable means that there has to be a method of this fact inside a method, so that a variable inside a method is considered local variable. Yeah. So C, local variable of type int local variable. Yeah. Then we'll type D. The fourth option is local variable. Okay, so this was double actually. Double local variable double C, D, and then we'll finish this method, and there is some class variable also. So class variables can be declared anywhere in the class. Let's deploy it here. So we call it, and it's basically static. So static means it's a class variable, not a instance variable. Instance variable would be non-static. So class variable. Okay, and I think we only need one in this case. Okay. Right, we have everything. So now what we'll do our favorite thing, system.println, out.println, and we'll try to print different variables. Yeah. So instance variable float. Okay. And we'll put instance variable character. Actually, I'm going to change the variables names a bit. This one will name it A. I will rename it to A. Yeah. And I will rename the other guy, which is cat, to small b. Okay. And then this one I will rename to C. This is rename to B, and this one I'm going to E. Okay. Slightly easier to see. So we have A, B, C. Okay, this is the program we are going to work with. Let's see if this accurately captures the question 9.
Are there two static expected?
You mean E and F?
Yeah, there are two static.
Yeah, I think the option E and F are mutually exclusive. So one of them will be true, not both. So that's why we just need one of them. Correct? A class variable string defaults to null or to empty string. It cannot be both. So we just need one variable to test it out.
Okay.
Make sense? Okay, so this is the public class. Let me take it on chat. Yeah, everybody, let's follow along and try it on. Let's see what happens to this guy. Has everybody created this class? Question 9. So there are 5 variables, and we will try to see what the question is asking us to do. A, B, C, D, E. And then I think there will be some Java compilation errors. And then we will fix the error, and then we will know the answer of some of the options. So if I try to compile question 9 with Java, I hit error. Oh, sorry, I think I made a question. I made an error in declaring this thing. So this is this string. Sorry, the last line should be this one. Okay, let's try to compile it now. Rakesh, are you able to follow along, or is it fast?
Yeah, I'm able to follow.
Okay, so what I see is that it is giving me 2 compilation errors. Sorry, I think the program is not yet complete. Yeah, my bad. Let me improve the program, and I'll show you what I have done wrong. So, in fact, maybe I can quiz anybody here. What does this error mean? Do you know? Can you explain?
The instance of the instance that we are running is static from a class.
Okay, let's break it down a little bit more. So we talk about A, right? So A is an instance variable. So it needs a constructed instance to be able to be used. Okay, which means this A is actually sort of unknown to the program because it's a static method. It does not know anything about A by default. So how can we fix this? Something similar to your other question, Bunny. So let's say we declare a question 9, and let's call the instance answer equal to new question 9. Yeah, this is our instance. And because A is not a static, it needs some reference. So we call it that reference is answer. So now answer is the object, and A and B are part of answer. Okay. Because they are not declared static, but they are still declared under the class, which means they are instance variables. Then therefore, they need an instance called answer. And these are local variables, hence they are not tied to any class. They're part of a method's local scope, so they don't need any suffix. And E, because it's declared static, again, this does not belong to any instance, hence we can use it as it is. There is one more way to use it actually. So a static variable can also be used by using the class name as the reference. So these 2 lines, line 23 and 24, are basically same. When you use something from static reference, this is the static reference, the name of the class itself. If you use something which is not static, then you need an object and use the object to refer to that variable. This is how object referencing works. Okay. So I'm going to compile it one more time. There will be some errors. Also, this time what is the error? This time the error is variable C might not have been identified, variable D might not have been identified. So this tells us about option C. There is no default happening. This is false. Option D, also false. So local variables, there is no defaulting of the value. If you try to use them like we did in the println, then it will give a compilation error. Okay. Now let's comment this out. C and D, we know local variable need assignment before use. Yeah, that's the rule we learned just now. So that's why we can't have C and D being printed. Okay, let me store that and then try to compile again. Okay, finally we have a compiled version. So let me share this version with you. Right, I've pasted the compiled version now. We figured out two rules that local variables, I think we saw it last time also, in the last lesson. But then again, we just found it again here today also that local variables need creation, need assignment. Okay. Now what happens if I try to run the program? Yeah. So we still don't have the answer for A, B, E, and F. So when we run, hopefully we'll get a better answer. Okay. So answer number A says local variable of type float defaults to 0. And the answer shown is 0.0. I would say it's sort of true, not 100%, but yeah, almost true. Yeah. So I'll consider it true, and that is what I wanted to show you. Because it's an instance variable, it will have a default value. And do you know what is the value of char B?
Null. Null. Empty
No, it's
string.
char B. Yeah, let's try to print char B in something we can understand a bit better. Let me change it using printf. You know, remember we have a printf, our friendly method. So let's say value of E equal to like that. And then let's print %C. I don't know if %C stands for character. I'm going to try to put extra braces here and try to print this guy. I haven't printed a character by before, so I'm not sure what is the correct character way to print a character. Oh, okay. What is this? I'll print a new line after that. Okay, cool. So let me compile it again and let me run it. Okay. What does it tell me that? Value of B, it's like that. What is it? Is it? Yeah, I think there is something which is, I don't know, it's non-printable maybe. I'll try to run, print it another way. So I'll try to convert it into an integer and then try to print it because characters are under the hood numbers, so you can actually typecast them into integers. Let's see if this one gives me a better answer. Right. Yeah. So basically, there is a character whose value is 0, and if I Google it, Google ASCII values. So 0 is, yeah, basically it's 0 if I Google ASCII table, the zeroth value is something that I think is not able to print it. It's just considered a terminator. So that's why we can't really see anything here as a character. But as an integer, we know the value is 0. So coming back to our question, instance value of character defaults to null is wrong. It's false. Okay. Cool. Now, what about why are they? Yeah. So then we have going back to the program that we wrote.
I just saw the ASCII table. 0 is null.
Yeah, I mean it's called a null term. It's like a basically terminator variable character.
Mhm.
Is that because Java? Are we talking about a null as in a ASCII value or Java object? I was not
As in
sure.
as in character, it's a null.
Yeah, basically it's a very special character which different platforms use in different ways actually. Even different programming languages use in different ways. So I guess something not sort of easy to talk about, or it needs a lecture on its own, frankly. Yeah, it's basically, but for our purposes, it's basically not displayable. Yeah, we can't really read it. It's something that programs use to terminate strings. Yeah, so if you have a long string, C++, for example, will terminate with the 0 value to determine it as the end of the string. It will be used in all sort of graphic displays, consoles, printers, and so on. Yeah. Yeah, so somewhat sort of out of scope for us for now. Yeah. Sorry. Okay, so let's see. We wanted to print question.e and e. So both of them are printed as null, which means static variables default to null, which means e is true and f is false. Okay, so I'll paste this final program and then we'll go back to the Excel sheet that I was sharing earlier. And shared on the chat the panel program, and I've basically answered the questions. So for this question, for me, A is almost true and E is true. Everything else is false. And does anybody have any doubt on the answers we just worked out? I know. I mean, there was one doubt about the null character. So let's see. What is null character? What is it? Yeah. Okay. So apparently there is a wiki page on this. So yeah, please go ahead. It's a null, considered a null character. It's also called a control character. Yeah. So I think control character describes it well. It's something that programs and displays use. So yeah, please go ahead and read the Wikipedia later on. So this is how a null character is used. Anyways, so coming back to the program, we had few questions and we worked out the answer. So yeah, let me know if anybody has any question on this particular, on the answer that we tabulated for this guy. Yeah. All right, and then I think I'll just ask one more question and then we'll call it a day. Um, okay, I pasted the next question. Please have a look and please work it out. Yeah, I will be back in 5 minutes and then I'll ask my answers. Okay, is that okay? Fair enough? All right, so I'll pause my video and audio for 5 minutes. Marvin, I'm back. Right. Do I have any answers from anyone?
A and C.
Okay. Okay. Line 2 generates compile error. Did you try it out? You are, from knowledge?
I mean, from knowledge as well as I tried it out. It should have a semicolon.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's correct. Anybody has any question about it or how to modify it? In fact, I would be interested to know how to modify line number 2 to make it work.
Put a semicolon instead of comma.
Yeah. Unless the weight was also typed in, then what would you do? And you could just remove the word double and it will still work.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, good. Line 3 generates compile error. Did anybody see line 3 generating compile error? So nobody found it to be true. Will be default. In fact, line number 3 is something that we did not discuss earlier. This is called initializer block. So you can, if we go quickly back to our question 9, we can improve. I mean, I can try to show you. So, in fact, what I can do even is I can create an initializer block here, which is basically, and here I can say b equal to h. I can initialize the variable instance variable here. Let's in this case I'm saying let b be a character h. Yeah, and I can compile that. And now you see that the value of b became h. Yeah. So this is basically initializer block. We can add it to a class, and usually you can use it to set some value or print something even. And what is the sequence is that after the object is created, this block will be called. Okay. And before the object creation formally ends, this initializer block will be called, and uh, whatever instructions were written inside it will be executed, and then only the new method will return. Okay, new constructor construction will complete. Okay, line number 4. Wow, void print int length equal to 3. Does it generate an error or not? Do we know?
And as discussed, we cannot initialize a value.
We're talking about
Default, I mean
option C.
yeah, it should have a compilation error.
Void. So this should be true, you mean? Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else would like to object or observe something different? So in a method parameter, you cannot set a value like we could do in Python, for example. In Java, you cannot do default values. Yeah. All right. Line number 7. Option number D. Line number 7. Does it generate a compile error? I don't see any reason why it should. Yeah. Code prints 0. What should the code print? Gills. Gills is 0. So E looks true, isn't it? Or is it not? Sorry, oh, wait. Option B. I think my answer is wrong. Do you know why? Yeah, I'd like to invite somebody to tell me why option B is true.
Can you share the other screen again? Yeah.
Okay. Um, yeah. So why is option B true? I think that's my question. So it's a very tricky question actually. Not easy to get head around. So don't worry if you can't answer it.
Class has not been initialized.
No.
Because line number 3 is already a compiler error.
I mean,
So,
no, I mean, let's say we fix, there's no other issue. We can only talk about line number 7. Yeah. Let's say
okay.
there is no other issue there. Yeah, it's a tricky one. So I've already updated our question 9. Or actually, I should make it question 12 now. Let me copy question 9. I mean, let me create a question 9, 12.java to talk about this. Question 12.java. Yeah. In fact, I'll answer this question by another question, and hopefully we will together figure out what's the correct answer. Let me share my other screen for present something else. Here. So I've created a file called question12.java, and I will basically addressed option D, line number 7, system out print pins. And then if you notice, I have the initializer block similar to line number 3 of the question, which is int pins equal to 100. So our question is, which line in question 12.java 11 or 12, which line is accurate? My first question is that.
12.
It's a trick question. Yeah, so I think I'll just go to the answer now. So you see, although this is a static, so this is the initializer block, and it will be called for instantiation. So it will be called when I do a instantiation of question 12 object. However, this int pins is actually a local variable of this block. Okay, pins is a local variable of this block, means it is not available anywhere outside. Okay, so which means this line is wrong. because prints is not available in scope in the main method. Okay, that's why 11 is wrong. And because it is a local variable, it is not an instance variable. Therefore, it cannot belong to an object of the class. Hence, this line is also wrong. Okay, and we can confirm that by compiling. So I get, oh, what is it? Cannot access question.
Question 9.
Oh,
Question
sorry.
9. Yeah.
I need, yeah, it's copy paste error. Yeah, sorry. Very common. I think you must be clicking also. Okay, so it says cannot find symbol prints, and it also says cannot find symbol answer dot print. Hence, line number B is correct. Okay, is it clear now, everyone? Okay, we're going back. So
So
hence line.
it has to be a static method. Only then we can call it.
No, because this is about local variable. So prints is a local variable. Its scope is limited to that block. Outside the
Okay.
block, prints doesn't exist.
Mhm.
Okay. Now code. Okay, going to option E. Code prints 0. Equal to 0. Yeah, if I fix the errors, what happens then? Let's say we remove the line number 7. Then what will it print? It will print. Yeah, we have to fix everything. Okay, so I think we can ignore options E, F, G, H because there are a lot of errors in the program. Yeah, so we'll just ignore others, or we can say they are all false effectively because there are too many errors in the program. So either we fix all of them and then come back, and then what we'll see it prints guilds, rates, and yeah. So yeah, okay. So that's all. A, C, and D are the correct answer. Okay, I think that's all from me today, guys. I've shared the link to this document also, so you can refer back to it. Yeah. So these questions are from a book. So yeah, please don't. What should I say? Yeah, I think this must be some copyright with the book. So I'll just leave it in the Excel sheet. You can refer it. Don't copy it over anywhere. Yeah. So and then with that we'll reconvene on January 3rd, which is the first Saturday of January. Is anybody so from the audience that are here today, are you guys all available on 3rd January? Anybody who is having a holiday during that time?
I am.
Or you're having? Okay.
I am available. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't catch it. If you were speaking something. All right, so let's convene on Jan 3rd. And so Tapender, in case you're not there, then we'll leave the video at YouTube. So you can refer back before you join for the next week. Yeah. All right. Happy holidays, everyone. And enjoy time. Bye-bye.
Yeah, boy. Thank you.